Alright YouTube, iOS360 here. I'm working here on the snapper. This is my personal snapper. It's a rotor tiller. This engine is not the original engine that was on it. This engine's actually from a lawnmower of some sort. Some rideable lawnmower. So you can hear little kids yelling in the background. I'm going to show you really quick and dirty, easy way to get flywheels off if you don't have a flywheel puller. I've been taught this more than once from when I was probably about 10, and not too long ago a guy re-taught it to me. I already knew the trick. And really and truly everything that I do is pretty much well self-taught, but I always listen to people if they want to tell me something or teach me something. If it's something I already know, they could have a pointer or do something differently that would help. Now, there's two different ways to do this. You can take your nut. Some guys will put it upside down, some guys will make it, or put it upside down. I just put it on there, and you want to make it flush. You take a pry bar, you pry up on the flywheel. You don't want to pry up too hard. Too hard and you can crack or warp your flywheel. Now the best way to do this really is to get a puller. I have a puller, but I'm showing you guys this on here. This is a cast iron flywheel. You're not going to hurt it. I really highly doubt it. But with aluminum flywheels and Tecumseh flywheels, I wouldn't even try this with. They're so thin. But if you've got an old flywheel like this, see, there's actually play there if you can see that. But there's one way is you can tap, hit this a few times while either you or somebody's pulling back on this. Good force against it, but too hard is, well, too hard. Easier way is to get yourself an air hammer. This is from Harbor Freight. It was like 20 bucks. Works beautifully. Never have a problem with it. And you just pull on this and you blip this a few times just to get it right on in there. And it comes right off. You want to stay away from the outer edges of this because it will ruin it, and do not, under any circumstance, take a hammer directly to this because it will mash this and mushroom it, even if it doesn't look like it is. You'll notice if you try to, after you're done, if you just slam right on here, you go to put this back on. Oh, guess what? It doesn't fit anymore. Why is that? Because you mushroomed it. The reason why I'm taking this off is because it didn't look like the flywheel key was too terribly happy, almost broken. Which looks like the key way in the engine itself is a little beat up. This engine just doesn't run correctly. The bore looks okay. Everything looks just fine, but it just doesn't run correctly. I'm going to be possibly even lapping the valves on this one. Yeah, it's an old Tecumseh. This is really, old Tecumseh, and that's one of the reasons why I'm fixing it up, because the old ones, really old ones, like this one has a cast iron flywheel. I believe this is a Tecumseh anyways. They were just better. They were okay. They were usable. The ones today, they've stopped making them now, but let's see if I can show you. So I'm going to be reusing this flywheel key, which I probably should buy a new one, but I'm going to be reusing it anyways. Let's see if we can focus up on here. See, that side looks okay. This side actually has a dent in it. From what I'm not sure, but I'm just going to get the flywheel on there as squarely as I can and get this back together and get into that bore, maybe even pull the engine apart. Let's look at the points in here, see what they look like. Yeah, they look okay. Yeah, it's Tecumseh. It says Tecumseh right there. Tecumseh 30546. And then, yeah, cool. Yeah, this engine's had a lot of hours on it, I can tell you that much. Yeah, lots of hours. This gasket, this top piece, I actually might have another one of these. If you can see that here. Edge is just falling apart there. Just a piece of paper, but kind of supposed to help keep things sealed. I'll see if I can either kind of help this one out or grab another one. I have, where is that? I think that's inside. I have a Tecumseh engine that looks like it has the same configuration there. So let's go, I'm going to go see if I can pull that one off and see what I can do with this. Alright, YouTube. I got snow blower engine here, which has brand new points and condenser. It has brand new everything. Let's see if that's still in frame here. Are you still in frame? Barely. There we go. Now you can see. Here's that. The cap I was telling you about will probably fit. Now this is indeed a horizontal shaft, and vertical shaft is on the rotor tiller. Let's see. Time getting this up. I have a meaty flathead. Alrighty. That's off. Carefully pull that off. Okay, there's the cap. There's a piece of paper that I'm wanting to use. It's in better shape. There you go. So you can see there's brand new points and condenser in there. It's points right there, condensers right there, brand new. I was doing this repair for a customer probably 2 years ago, and it just wouldn't run. It would not do anything. It wouldn't spark. It wouldn't even give me a hint of a spark. I checked the points over and over again. You know, I ground them down. I spaced them out correctly. Put a new condenser on. One thing I actually never really checked was the coil, which I almost never have problems with coils. So it very well could have been the coil. But one of the times I was torquing the flywheel down to spec. I got a torque wrench in the garage. I use usually when I'm torquing down older engines. Sometimes I just torque them on, and that's fine. You know, I use a air wrench sometimes. But it just broke. I don't know how it broke. But yeah, that just totally snapped off, and so the engine's useless now, unless I found a shaft for it, a new crankshaft. Which the funny thing is I wouldn't doubt if the crankshaft from the vertical engine wouldn't fit in this. If it turns out to be that this engine over here, if this one is just shot and too worn out or whatever's wrong with it, I may just open it up and see if that crankshaft wouldn't possibly fit that. That might be a little much to ask, but something like that to happen. But hey, I've had things like that happen before. I've taken horizontal parts from a Briggs and put them on vertical Briggs, and vice versa. Yeah, that's a Briggs, and these are Tecumsehs, which could be totally different horsepower ratings. I have absolutely no idea. I think this is an 18 horse, and that one over there very well could be the same. Flywheels do look, it's a bit smaller. This one's fatter. This part's fatter than the other one. Never mind. It was an idea though, right? I'm just going to put that back on there. Store that till later. Got a good piston. It's got everything's great about it except for the carburetor. Carburetor's destroyed. It was destroyed when it came to me. So yeah. Let's move over to this engine again. We've got our new cap. It's cleaner, better looking. Should seal everything off like it should. Now I'm not even going to touch this points and condenser because I know it works. And like the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I could probably set them and get them maybe to run a little bit better or something like that. The thing is though, is I'd rather just not. Points and condenser systems can be absolute picky things, and I don't want to disturb it if it doesn't want to be disturbed, so I'm just going to leave it. So yeah, there's your new cap. It's going to protect it a little bit better in there. Here's yieldy flywheel. Nice big cast iron thing. It's nice for a workhorse like this. Now, let's see. I gotta remember which way this was sitting. It's sitting like that. See, this is where I can, to beat it and make videos of things, because I can always go back and look at my video of me pulling this off and figure out which way it was sitting. I think it might have been sitting like that, but it could be sitting like this. Let's see. Let's look at the. Oh, I can see the proof marks. Witness marks, also called. There's marks here in the key of where it used to sit. It used to sit just like that. So where it is, that's how it's at. There's witness marks in it. Now, I'm wondering if that's incorrect though, because I'm wondering if that's also the reason why that was chewed up. It makes sense for this little piece here, if you can see that piece there, to sit like that. Sit inside there like that, because then it'll miss the cardboard. It'll totally skip it. Now, let's see if I can just gently tap this in here. That's where it wants to sit all the way down there. Now let's see if the flywheel won't just sit on top of that, because that very well could be the reason why it doesn't want to. Oh yeah, heck, that fits even better than it did before. So whoever took this apart before did not put that on or back on correctly. So that might be one of the reasons why it's running so crappily. It burns a ton of oil too, and I don't know why, because the piston chamber, I'll show it to you here in a second. I think I might just do a full video of this engine, because some of you will ask and want to see more on it, so I think I might just do it all on this video. And yes, if you guys have seen my shoes, they're my leisure shoes. It's a nice, beautiful Sunday, so I don't put my work shoes on. I just kind of lounge around. They've got some nice Crocs on. They're comfy. You can't say they're not. It's all that matters to me. Comfortability. Anyways, we're gonna throw this piece back on here. Make sure. See, that piece has been sheared off there. That's supposed to be sitting in this bit of the flywheel. That bit right there. That's been sheared off. Interesting. I'm gonna go see if I can. There's a bit left over there. I'm gonna go see if I can put that in the vise and smash that out. Alrighty, well, kind of got it popped out there. It looks a little bit better. It wants to lock in there, so that's all I was looking for. Something that looked a little bit better. Now before I tighten anything up, make sure this pin is in here as straight as I can get it. Yeah, that's looking good. Before I took this flywheel off, I could see that it was a little cockeyed, a little off. And just the slightest amount of that being off, it can make this engine run really crappily. So I think I might even go into a full disassembly of the engine just to see what the internals look like. I'm going to call that good. You're probably thinking, holy smokes, it doesn't have any compression. Yeah, it does. It's got a good amount of compression. It's just I don't have the head on it. So two things I'm thinking with the burning of the oil. The valves look okay. The valve train, like the actual part where the valve comes through, I'll check those out, see what those look like, see if they're scored or whatever. The cylinder really doesn't look all that bad. Let me flip this over here and I'll show you what I mean. It just looks worn. It just looks well worn. Doesn't look like it's been abused. Let's see. We can get a good picture here. As you can see, it really doesn't look all that bad. You got some. No, wait, we got some scoring right here. Couldn't see that until I flipped it over. Some pretty good scoring there. I think my best bet is to pull this engine apart and see if I can hone this cylinder out a little bit. As you can see, it doesn't have any cross-stitching at all. It's been well used. It has a lot of hours on it. See if I can get a little bit of a cross thatch back on there, see what those piston rings look like and what the piston itself looks like, and see if I've got a piston bouncing around the yard that fit in here, or possibilities go on. I think I might even have a piston downstairs that might fit that. So worth a try anyways. I guess the next stage is to pull the engine off. Alright YouTube, sorry I spaced everything. I actually just honed it. There's the hone right there. I just honed it out. Tried to take, there's still some good scarring in there, but it's worth a try. The piston's in pretty horrid shape. But I was thinking, if I can get this to stop smoking as much as it does, that's gonna be a success to me, because it'll make it somewhat usable again, as long as it runs okay, So I'm gonna throw it all back together now. I am so sorry I haven't been making videos of it. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it back together now. Alrighty, YouTube, let's try starting her up now. Gonna put some gas in it. It's been sitting for a long time. I don't even know if the carb's clean enough for it to run. That'll be plenty enough to get it to start. And I've got my hearing protection. It's a radio as well, so you always gotta have your hearing protection. You only got one set of ears. If you damage your one set of ears and you're sunk. So let's see if she'll start. Let's see, I've got a little starting fluid here. Let's see if I think the starting fluid's empty. Just gonna see if I can make this starting easier for me. There might be a little something in there. I can smell it, so hopefully it'll ignite. exactly what that noise is. It's this guard up in here. Looks like, oh, that's fun. The flywheel's come undone. Actually, the actual whole, yeah, the whole flywheel up top up here is come undone. Starter cup, anyways. It's running a ton better than it used to, so that's good. That actually it attempts to idle now. Before it would just die. Now it actually wants to do something. Let's spill gasoline everywhere. So let's pull this head open and see. Well, you see what I can see there? We've got a broken cooler fin. I don't know how that broke off or why that broke off. It could have been because I was revving it too high. It's a possibility, but as you can see, this starter cup's just coming undone for whatever reason. It could be another reason why this little piece is bent up, because this has spun before. It's spun in the past. I'm going to take this little guard off. It's not mowing lawns anymore, so it doesn't need it. Yep, and that key has been moved again in there, so it's not on time anymore. That's coming off way too easy. It should never come off that easy. Ooh, and the key's destroyed. Well, right when the engine started showing signs of it's going to work again, it dies. I'm pretty much just going to call this one dead. Or at least dead for now. It really isn't smoking that bad anymore. When I first started it up, it was smoking profusely. But that's because I put a lot of oil in the cylinder for startup. For it to not burn up when I started it. And after it worked through all that, it was actually running extremely well. I was very well pleased with it until this happened. I'm going down to an engine shop today anyways, a small engine place. Go buy some parts. Maybe I'll see if they can find me a key for this. Maybe I'll call them up in advance and see if they've got a key or something that'll match closely enough. Yeah, before this had a little piece on the bottom half. I don't know where that's gone, but it's gone. It's too bad. Well, on to the next repair. I'm gonna leave this one for a while. I don't even know why I'm really giving this engine a chance. I do like these older Tecumsehs. I guess that's one reason. But I've got a Honda that I can drop right on this and get probably plenty enough power out of. Just 6.5, and that's usually what these tillers have on them. They have a 6.5 or larger, so 6.5 should work pretty good well for it. I'll give this engine another chance. Let's see if I can find a key for it. If I can't find a key, then it's going to go up on my engine shelf in my shed, and it's going to sit there until I either get another engine like this, or it may just sit there. Never know, it might just sit until I take it to scrap. Anyways, on to the next repair.